Today is the day you will lose fat. Come see Dr. T at NJ Diet.
Easiest diet I've ever done. It's changed my life. Come see Dr. T.
Using blood work and DNA testing. 1-855-5NJ-DIET and NJDiet.com. Change your life in only 40 days with NJ Diet.
Live and local stories, live and local guests, live and local hosts. Bernie and Sid in the morning.
I'm sure you know those brothers, two white brothers.
All right, Bernie and Sid.
On the air, on the app, 77 WABC.
Tuesday morning, this is the most popular segment on the show. Ratings say it. Bo Dietl does an incredible job. And there's so much good stuff out there. By the way, you can check out Bo's weekly podcast, which is doing very well on the OG Podcast Network.
Hannity was on there.
This week?
That's right.
This week at Sean?
It's all over the Geo. Hannity, you got my man Curtis. Don't make a move, Curtis.
Right. Don't make a move, Curtis.
Yeah.
Well, Curtis was...
a little wrong with his predictions.
On which one?
On the thing in Staten Island. He was naming somebody else. I said, Curtis, be good. I can't plug up any more holes on you.
Well, listen, a lot of people were wrong on their predictions. Even Frank O'Hara stopped by, said it was the Sicilians. Other guys said it was Gene Gotti. In the end, Bo, when it first happened, no one could have predicted.
Leave the Gottis alone.
Well, I'm with you.
Leave the Gottis alone.
But
who? Gene just got out.
I know.
Let him enjoy his family. Maybe come to Hard Rock with us.
Maybe.
Let the guy did 30 years. Let him alone.
I agree with you.
Gotti Jr. wants an apology, by the way.
Well, you want to know something? He's right, because his family keeps dead fame. His father's dead.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dead. You know what? We move on. They went after that kid 5 times. They didn't convict him because they had Fugazi people that were testifying against him. They were crap cases. That's why they fell through. And he used a crap guy, Elite Day, that made an allegation against me, that punk. I never met the guy. Right. I told the U.S. attorney if he can lie about Bo Dietl, he can lie about John Gotti Jr. This is their witnesses. You got to get real witnesses. You can't come with these Fugazis.
Somebody shut up, Curtis.
But nobody.
Somebody shut up, Curtis.
Yeah, right.
You got to listen to the podcast. It's very descriptive on the OG network. Listen to the conversation with me and Curtis. It takes you down to that day. I'm telling you something. That's one of the best podcasts that I ever did. Wow. Curtis describes in real, slow, factual what happened. He's a lucky boy. He's a lucky boy.
Yeah, very lucky. But no one could have predicted that this kid, based upon what they're telling us, maybe they're not telling us, maybe they don't know, maybe there's more to this than meets the eye. But if this kid wiped out Callie over his niece, who we wanted to date, no one could have predicted that.
I'm just wondering, because honestly, there's a lot of talk. I knew every wise guy there was. I grew up with Gotti and Scopos and all the guys, and I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I don't know really who was on first, who was running the Gambino family. There was a lot of allegations about this one, the Sicilians and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, this seems like such a fugazi thing to shoot somebody over some chick. I don't know, man.
And you're not buying it.
I don't know. I don't know what the story is.
Yeah,
I like to wait for the investigation to develop more, because what they're going to do is they'll get all his text messages, all his communications, and they'll build a case of who he's communicating with. There might be another story, and maybe not. Maybe this kid is just a tough kid. Maybe this guy woofed him and said, hey, listen to me. You come around here with my niece, I'm going to slap you down. You understand? You know who I am? And the kid goes, oh, I know who you are. That's the ones you got to worry about, the ones that don't say nothing.
Right.
And then he may be depressitated or something, and then he gets his hands on a gun. He doesn't know who the hell. He thinks he's just shooting somebody else, but you know what? Turns out the guy's the boss.
Is he safer in jail or on the streets, or is he a dead man either way?
Well, put it this way. Look at when they locked up my friend John Gotti Sr., who I grew up with, and they had the informant down there, Sammy Gravano. Let's be honest about one thing. He was openly in Arizona talking about, oh, I did this, come and get me. They never whacked him, because if he sent my father, I'll say it right now, if he sent my father away for the rest of his life, where he ended up dying in jail, my Umarata, whatever the hell is that called?
Omerta.
That one, too. Yeah. In any case, I'd go after that guy and I'd whack his ass. And you know what? That's what you do. So in reality, Sammy Gravano lived on.
Yeah.
So what is really going to happen to this kid? If he's in general population, Somebody might want to try to get points. Say if you got no money, you're doing life. All of a sudden, somebody whispers in your ear, whack that punk, and we'll take care of your family. Then the punk gets whacked.
Yeah.
And I tell you what are you going to do? Give him another life sentence? And you guys were mentioning something earlier.
But what, by
about
the way,
death penalty?
John
there is
Gotti,
no death
John
penalty.
Gotti Jr. said, sarcastically, said, thank God for surveillance cameras.
Right.
And
they were
I mean,
blaming
he is a
Gene
wise guy.
Gotti. My friend Gene just did 30 years. I knew Gene when I was a kid. And with Johnny, and he did 30 years. He's out. He did his time. You know what? Leave the guy alone. Leave them alone, okay? My point is right now that was bad. It's not a good thing. The name Gotti is synonymous to organized crime. Everything that happens, Gotti's killed everybody.
So what were you going to say about death penalties?
There is no death penalty, so don't
That's
worry
right.
about this kid getting fried by the government.
I'm not
the only
worried.
the only one who's going to fry him probably was from within inside.
Right,
Yeah.
he just got the death penalty.
Yeah,
This kid.
but I'm going to tell you something right now. I really don't know if this kid knew more or not, but the investigation will unveil this. The other thing is, I'm so just crazy this morning.
Yeah, come on, tell us,
crazy.
Bill, tell us.
This nitwood, Big Bird de Blasio, is up in New Hampshire. 6 people there, thrown
I
up on
know.
himself. His wife there. Now, this is his wife that ran a lemonade stand. She never ran a business in her life. They give her $1 billion. What capability does she have to run $1 billion in the last 3 years? They wasted $1 billion there. Then they wasted over this renewal school another almost $1 billion. Yep. Now all of a sudden the jobs program, $300 million, and they got 3,000 friggin' jobs.
Yeah.
This is idiot and idiot more. You know who my new person is? Corey Johnson. My man. This is a
City
smart
Council
guy.
Speaker, yeah.
He's tough and he's smart. And I love Corey Johnson. And he's taking it to task. At what point? We almost talk about $3 billion here, wasted money between Mr. and Mrs. Useless. The only thing they were good for is going to Nicaragua and go to Havana on vacations with these commies. That's all they are. He hasn't done a damn thing in this city. Mm-hmm. He's just a lucky man because the cops out there, the men and women of the NYPD has brought crime down. Not this punk. Remember, we forget real fast. 2 kids that were assassinated in Brooklyn. I'll never forget that. Because he put the environment. What do we want? Dead cops. What do we want them now?
Right.
They rioted. They stopped the streets. And then that punk from Baltimore shot those 2 cops. That blood is on Big Bird's hands. And I'll never forget it.
He threw gas on the fire.
Did you know when I ran for mayor? Every time he seen me, he ran the other way.
Yeah.
And my last statement on Channel 2, I'll never forget it. Maurice Dubois. You know, Mr. Mayor, I've been a detective my whole life. And I know a criminal when I see one. And you're a criminal with your pay-for-play and your corruption. Mm-hmm. How much money do I got to give you, Mr. Mayor, to get something done in this city? That's the epitome of what that punk is. Get rid of him. Goodbye.
He crapped his pants, no doubt. What do you think of this subway pervert thing?
Oh, this is another thing.
78 arrests for one of them.
I
78
mean, you know
arrests.
what? You take the train. What do you call it? What's your name again?
Sid. I'm Sid.
Sid
Nice
Bergen.
to meet you, Bo.
Sid, over here. He was telling me he takes the subway all the time.
Yep.
He gets home and he has a white substance on his back.
Yeah.
Who's been doing that? Who's been doing that, Sid? Do you want that guy locked up or what?
I want him locked up.
They don't
Is it a
lock
little
him up.
slimitaceous?
Listen, I can't stand it, and I'm on the train at 4 o'clock in the morning, Bo. So the worst of the worst, the bigot,
Do you hold
degenerate,
those handles?
lowlifes.
You hold the pole?
I don't touch those
Don't
things.
touch the pole.
Right.
I
No,
hear
that's
there's
not cool.
things on those poles
I know.
that they're not. The protozoas ain't even described.
Oh, it's so
But
nasty.
I got to tell you, you know, with the sexual harassment out there with business place, you know, we came up with this website, this independent website. It's pretty cool. We did a press release about it. I just see the head of Time Warner just got popped. What it is we do independent investigations for HR and for the general counsel where people who have a complaint, they can independently report it instead of going through HR. I hired the head of EEOC. We got a great platform, and it's how we combat any kind of allegations to the corporation because people feel uncomfortable to report to HR. So now we have an independent company. We can go in.
You go to Bo Dietl and Associates?
Yes.
I like this.
But I tell you what, Hard Rock is happening.
Yes.
Mariah Carey, we're going to go down and see Mariah Carey.
We're going
I'm
together.
actually
I like her, man.
Yeah.
Let's all get down to Hard
Let's
Rock.
get the Escalade
Let's roll
and let's
some
go.
bones.
Yeah,
We'll roll
let's
some
do it.
bones.
No doubt.
Not you, Sid.
Not
We'll
me.
roll some bones.
I'm into it.
And
They got a huge summer.
We'll
They-
watch
they-
you shake that ass.
They got a
So
huge
remember,
summer coming up.
Geo Network. You have Sean Hannity,
Right.
president.
The OG
podcast.
Podcast Network.
Right. And then you have that Curtis and Bo interview.
Yes.
To me, it's a phenomenal interview. And everybody, welcome on board, and we love you guys. Thank you.
We love you too.
Yeah,
Great
man.
job as always, Bo Dietl, every Tuesday morning. Once again, check
Big
out
Bo.
the podcast. The OG Podcast Network does an amazing job with great guests. 1-800-848-WABC, 1-800-848-9222. Top of the hour, Ben Shapiro. He's got a new book. He's stopping by. More of Bernie and Sid right after these words.
Bernie and Sid in the morning.